years, and to ask you that what are you working on now?
Basically, it's been a whole lot of work back to back, so I'm taking time to work on my own project, just planning my own cinema project. So it's going to take a lot of work, but it's basically trying to trend on the Yoruba genre, and then see how far we can actually push ourselves to the cinema. And yes, there's a belief that the Yoruba genre doesn't trend in cinema and doesn't make any impact in cinema, but I think with AYINLA we've been able to prove a lot of people wrong. So right now we need to do a lot of good movies, Yoruba content movies that will push us way ahead. And that's what I'm working on right now. So I think if I'm not filming this year, it will be early next year.
Career-wise, what would you say that the AYINLA project did for you?
I think it placed me on another level entirely. It wasn't what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting that so soon. I wasn't expecting this level this soon. I still feel maybe I have to do a lot of work. So, but when I got the script, it was a shock for me because I've always prayed to do a waka pass on a Tunde Kelani set, even if it is one scene. Let me shall pass and let it be in my resume that I once acted on the Tunde Kelani set. So when I came with a major role, I feel wow, this is away from my normal comfort zone. It wasn't easy playing the role of AYINLA, so I knew from the set that it was gonna be a good job. It wasn't easy. It was a lot of drilling. It was like me learning all the way. That's why I think I know. When you're working with a perfectionist, you're not getting it right. You just have to get it right. And it's a biopic, so, and this is one man I never met. I'm not a fan of Apala music. I've never listened to Apala music. I don't even know who AYINLA Umahura is until I got the script. There were no documentation, no nothing. He didn't do a single interview when he was alive. So it was basically me trying to do my research, learning, go to where he lived, walked around the place, was around that place for like a week, just trying to invoke a spirit and then hear from people and see how I can imbibe his mannerism and his character. So everything about AYINLA that I did was me, imagining it from what I've heard about him to put that into place. So when he came out, that was the first time ever in my life that I told Uncle Tunde Kelani that I am proud of myself. In the whole of my career, I told him the night of the premiere that Uncle, I'm proud of myself. It was a lot of work, but
how was it like working with all the other members of the?
Yeah, they helped me out. Because at some point I got tired, and I'll be like, "This music is not sinking. I don't know what Apala music is about." And this is one musician that his style of music is away from every other person's style. This is one man that will drop the chorus, and then when the backup singer carries the chorus and starts singing, he will come and join them in the chorus with another voice entirely. And then when you need to voice it as you're singing, you have to just follow it that way. So it was too much of work. There was a time I rapped at 4 p.m. I just stood up to the killer and said, "Excuse me, sir, I cannot continue. Can I go and relax? We'll come back in the morning to continue." Is that what okay, it's a rap, let him go and sleep. So he will come back tomorrow morning. So it was a lot of work. So, but from my co-cast and all of that, each time I feel like getting tired, they just back me, don't worry. You do this. Let's begin. And then we're able to achieve it.
You mentioned that you've been praying all along to just play Waka Pass role on
Yes,
Tunde Kelani set. Why?
Tunde Kelani. This is a man I grew up practically watching all of his movies. Tonuwanile, Shaworo there, and those movies of those years, more than decades. If you still play them today, it's more like they're still relevant to a typical story of Nigeria. Shaworoide is still relevant today to a typical story of Nigeria and so many other stories that he has told. So this is a man that all his life he has told the Yoruba story in a way that people would love and appreciate. So when you align with such person for a waka pass, it's a hype for your career. If in this industry, I don't know, but if I play waka pass on a Tunde Kilani set, it's a hype for me. So I didn't now play a waka pass. I played a major role. And not just a major role of a legend that died at it when he's about to hit his peak. So this is more like there is no AYINLA again, but there is another AYINLA that is trying to tell the story of the AYINLA that we do not know. A lot of people do not know AYINLA of my generation. So many of us didn't meet him, we just heard about him. So this is me now telling the story of a legend. So I'm in that league.
I was going to ask again, your role and your role with CK on the set, is that a way it's going to, or is influencing your own content development for the Yoruba movie industry?
Yes, basically, because the person that was supposed to play that role didn't come on time, and then we're going to get somebody else to play the role. And then Baba just said, role in other people act in the film. It was a shock for me. Uncle act. No, I worry. Okay. This is a plus for me. Acting with the TK. There's a plus for me. So he placed me on another level entirely, because this is one man that will tell you a story and then he won't stop at getting all the facts about the story before he pushes it all out. So all I've learned from a TK is you just have to do it right and you have to get it right. Because I know that they changed the AYINLA script up to the 5th draft. Even a day to the location, they still sent me a new draft. Like that. This means that he is one man that will never stop working on what is going on, and keep putting it together. So that alone has told me that whatever it is that you want to do, take your time, give it the best. It may take you time to shoot a major movie, but if you shoot a major movie and you shoot it well, it can place you on another level for another number of years that you can never imagine. So it's not about the number of works that you do, it's about one that makes a lot of sense to people.
I'm going to take you away from AYINLA Mawura. Have you played that you find most challenging?
I played a lot of challenging roles. But I think for recent times, the most challenging is still AYINLA. And why it's challenging is because it is hard to play a biopic. You know, you're telling the story of someone that a lot of people know. So if you don't do it well, if there is a way he does his mouth and then you do your mouth in another way, people will tell. No, I look in Shenubai, and so biopic is crazy. So you have to pay strict attention to everything that he does and all of that. And then after AYINLA, I think I've done 2 other biopics. I did Ige. The Ige story, they are still alive. And then when they brought the story to me, I just told them, I need to see, can I meet with the story, the person that owns the story? Even if it is a day or 2, I need to just sit with him. He may not say nothing to me, just let me just sit around where he is. And I did that, and I was able to deliver. And the man himself was like, okay, this is me. So that's how biopic is. Anything biopic is always very challenging. So,
Which is the second one?
Apart from he's the stranger. I just finished last month. It was directed by Bioni Steven. It's the story of a doctor, and the doctor is still alive. So he also came on set.
And how do you switch personalities? How do you I watch Lateef Adedimeji, and 1 minute you are this jovial guy, the next minute we have tears on your face, and it comes out so real. So how do you manage to do that so conveniently?
It's more like because acting is a religion to me. So if I'm going to meet with God, I will go with all my strength and with everything that I have in me. So that's how I take acting. So whatever it is you're giving to me, I'm going to take it like my life depends on it. So when I get a script and it requires that I cry, then I need to put all my heart to it. I have to cry, not just crying. You have to cry like it's real, because acting itself is make it real. That's the true definition of acting. So if you do not make it real, the same audience will tell you that you were once. And then if your crying does not tally with the interpretation of the scene, people will still get it wrong. So it is very possible for you to have a right line and have the wrong reaction. So you will throw people away. You will start making the audience to be looking for balance, trying to balance your reaction with the words you're saying. So I don't allow that to happen. For every line, I interpret it, and I interpret the line of my next actor, because that will push me into my reaction and all of that. So it's easy for me to switch because I understand what the story is about, and I'm able to interpret the character.
Yeah, from what you told us, you that you have determination to improve the background of make-believe.
Right.
What could you suggest as factors that will help the sub-industry develop?
I think
perfection.
Yeah, what we need to do is we need to do a lot of collaboration, and then we need to take out the fact that it is me factor should be taken out of the Yoruba genre, because I believe if we have like we have here, we have over 10 people in here. If we have 10 producers here and we have 10 scripts, if the 10 of us work on just one script and produce it, there is a difference between a script written by just one person and a script written or put together by 10 people. The difference will definitely tell. Then it doesn't say that because 10 people work on it, you won't take your credit. You will still take the credit of you producing it, but you have 10 intelligent people working on it. That means every possibility of you pushing a good story out is over 80%. Than when we have 10 producers, different producers wrote a script and everybody wants to produce it without consulting the other people. We'll bring out a lot of stories that makes no sense because it is just one person's idea. And then what you have in your head might not be what I have in my head, and might not be what the next person has. But if we all put it all out, we'll reach a conclusion. Despite argument and all of that, we'll reach a conclusion that we'll know that, okay, this is the likely thing that the audience would attract to and all of that. So I think we just need to do a lot of collaboration and a lot of sensitization in the Yoruba world, and then we will bring out more great content and stories that will affect people positively.
So for quite a number of times, a lot of people have likened your character to that of Adedimeji. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Physical-wise, how your rules and everything, when they see you, someone like, oh, this is another version of Adedimeji. How do you feel?
It was great. It was great for me at the start of my career. It was great for me at the start of my career when they say, you look like, when they say you look like somebody that is great, you don't have a choice, you'll be happy. You'll be happy. But at some point, I realized the fact that it is not even good for my career too. Because you have to, Odun built his name and built his career to that level. And he was able to stand out. What is next for me is also to build the name and build my career so that you don't see me, and before you could mention my name, you will have to refer me to Odun before you can mention my name. So for some time it was like that until I had to sit myself down and do a research on myself and on Odun and on other people. Okay, what is it that I can do? What do I do that will make my name stand? And then when you see me, you will refer to me with something before you refer to me with Odun's name. So my map out strategies are all of those strategies. I came out with tears. I came out with a lot of English speaking in Yoruba movies. I came out with a whole lot. So when you want to come, but what one so in Yoruba movie? Okay, yes, okay, I'm getting there. Yeah, this guy, I don't remember his name. Oh man, okay, yes, I'm getting there. You know, like that to his state that you now say, Lateef Adedimeji, oh man, yes, I've been able to achieve that. So it's a lot of work every day before you can make your name register in people's mind and become a brand in their mind. So,
Great.
Thank you.